If you haven't heard, this is from John Pollock and Brandon Thurston. WWE will be adding a premium live event in September on the same day as AEW's All Out pay-per-view. Post Wrestling spoke with multiple sources with knowledge of the WWE event schedule who confirmed a yet-to-be-announced PLE will take place on Saturday, September 20th in Indianapolis. Throughout the year, NXT premium live events have been scheduled, though this is the first time it's going to be a main roster show to go up against All Out. And then we got a report from numerous sources, and I think it's Andrew Baydala. I don't know who he is, but he's a reporter. With the announcement coming eminently regarding a WWE PLE in September, Cena versus Lesnar could likely be the selling point of the PLE, considering it being direct competition with All Out. WWE will likely feature 2 or 3 major matches at this PLE, which will take place in Indianapolis. So they're obviously, like, you can say forever that they're not competition. They're competition.
Yeah,
you don't 100%. Do that. You don't do that for not competition.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
exactly.
And I get it that it's in an anti-competitive way. It's in the same way, you know, Starbucks will set up next to a small coffee shop to run that small coffee shop out of business. When Starbucks, like, that competition isn't taking money away from Starbucks. They just want to make sure that if you're going to get coffee, it's going to be Starbucks. Like, that's
correct.
all they care about. They don't care about what the fans want, because there are fans who will watch both shows. Like, there's going to be, and they don't, if they wanted to maximize their own number of views, they would put it on a day when nothing else wrestling related was on.
Right.
They don't care about that. They care about stopping people from checking out AEW in any way. And they also care about controlling the media, which WWE loves to do. They love it. It's like the one they're not great at putting on a wrestling show, but they're very good at controlling PR.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
They want, so that if you go to any wrestling website or any wrestling Twitter feed or any wrestling Instagram page, that it's not all AEW. At least part of it is going to be Cena versus Lesnar, which is why they're doing big names. They're not putting on their best possible match.
Right.
They're not putting on this like super well built year-long storyline. Last time they did it, they rushed Goldberg's retirement because they wanted Goldberg because he's a big name. And now they want Cena versus Lesnar, who I don't think will even have a storyline because they're both part-time and probably won't be on TV much. So I think Cena only has like 11 dates left in this year on his contract. And you don't know how many Lesnar has. Probably not very many.
Right.
So they're probably going to, like, the week before that pay-per-view have a thing, and then they're going to have the match. So, like, they're not trying to build the best possible show. They're trying to put a show with big names to go against the AEW show.
And this is where WWE drops the ball continually. Nobody cares about that on the AEW side. You're only hurting your own fans that like gold. And they're going to watch both anyway.
They are only hurting their whole fans, but I think it's you're right. Nobody who orders an AEW pay-per-view is going to not order it because of WWE.
Right.
Like, that's probably true. But what they're terrified of is that a small number of people heard about this AEW thing, and maybe they'll just try it because they hear they have a big show. And that's what they don't want. That's what they're scared of.
Agreed. But they can do whatever they want. The AEW audience is the audience that they pushed away.
But that's their problem, that they're pushing more people away.
Exactly. Well, that's what I was just getting at. And they're not, I was just going to say, and they're not helping the situation by doing things like this.
They're pushing more people away, and they're terrified, though, that they would rather have those people stop watching wrestling forever than watch anyone else. Right. So their goal is to make sure that if you're mad at WWE and you want to stop watching WWE, you just quit watching wrestling and not think, hey, there's this other show I heard that's out there that I might want to watch. That's what they're scared of.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that.
And they're scared they're not scared from like AEW is going to take over wrestling. It's not. Like, WWE is massive and huge. And like, it's not. They're scared from like a salary standpoint. They don't want any wrestler whose contract runs out goes, oh, but AEW is going to offer me this much. You have to pay me more. Every single one. And why wouldn't you?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, if you were a WWE equivalent of Action Andretti, since I don't know why, I'm just going to say that, and
Right.
your contract's up, you better at least send, if you have an agent or feelers or whatever,
Yeah.
to AEW to see, like, hey, even if you're not interested in me, here's my catalog. What would you offer me?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like to just say, hey, this is what they're offering me right now. Like,
And even guys who aren't in any of those companies, right? Say you
true,
work for New Japan or you work for an indie and
true.
you're getting some buzz. And before, if you worked for an indie and they were like, you wanted to work for a TV company, you had to just take whatever WWE was going to give you because you had no
100%.
choice. Now you don't, right? Now, even
Yeah.
if you want to go to WWE, you can go to AEW and go, hey, how much do you want to get? And you could still sign. Like apparently,
100%.
they don't like that there's that option out there,
Right.
right? They just want to eliminate that option so that it's not there, so that they don't have to even think about ever matching anyone's salary ever again. Like they complained when Swerve resigned with AEW that he was getting paid too much and it was going to upset the market. And people are like, well, the market is whatever people want to pay, right? Like
Right.
that's the market, right? If someone's going to offer you that much money, that's the new market.
Exactly.
So anyway, I have two questions coming out of
Yes.
this. Sorry for going on a rant. It's WWE makes
Fine.
me mad. Two questions. My first question, UFC, it's related. UFC announced today that they're signing a deal with Paramount Plus. So all their pay-per-views are going to be on Paramount Plus instead of pay-per-view. Right. So it's probably going to be like a separate tier or something, but it's not a pay-per-view anymore. It's on a streaming service.
Right.
WWE signed their deal with ESPN where it's going to cost more now. It's not going to be on Peacock anymore. It'll cost more money, but it's still on a streaming service. You pay for ESPN, you get all the pay-per-views, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I was saying before about WWE doesn't want people who are curious to check out AEW. That's why they're running shows the same day. That's what I think that's probably true. Is the fact that AEW costs extra money for each show, is that going to hurt them now? Because if you can watch a WWE show essentially for free, if you have the service already, even if you're mad at WWE and you don't want to watch them anymore, might you still watch, WrestleMania or this pay-per-view that's against All Out because you already get it, it's free, versus am I going to pay $50 for a thing I've never heard of before? Even like my friend said it's good, and I've heard some stuff on the internet that it's good, but it also costs $50. Do you think that this is the pay-per-view costs is, there's a limit? Like the diehard fans will always buy the pay-per-views, but is it discouraging new people from checking them out?
Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate first and foremost. So I'll answer your question and then I'll give you my real answer.
All right.
I'll answer your question is no, I don't think people are likely to do that because of the money. Like that's a lot of money to just check something out.
Right.
That being said, the internet exists and
Right.
people just find a stream.
Yeah.
And I mean, perfectly legally find a stream and pay for it with their hard-earned money. But that's how they would do it. But yeah, unless if somebody wants to check it out, they'll find a way to check it out. But spending their hard-earned money to check it out, no.
Yeah, I think that is,
yes.
And I get it. I've heard from what I've heard. I think it was Meltzer who said that AEW pay-per-views sell really well, right? Considering they get 700,000 or 800,000 people watching, 600 or 700 people watching Dynamite, 700,000 watching Dynamite. They sell like 150,000 pay-per-views or something, which is like a pretty big portion of your audience forking out $50 to watch your show. So for them to put it on a streaming service, include it in a streaming service, they would have to make more than that money, right? However much money, if they make $1 million from pay-per-view orders, they'd have to make more than $1 million on the stream for it to be worth that. So I get it, why they don't want to do that, because they don't want to just give up the money. But I do think it hurts. They're like, if you were online and you were reading a bunch of stuff and people were talking about how awesome Will Ospreay is or Tony Storm, and you're like, oh, I want to watch their next big show. Oh, but not $50 worth.
Right.
I can see that hurting them. And I think if they want to get, I'm not saying they're going to grow and reach the level of WWE. I'm not saying they will, but you obviously do want to grow your audience if you can. And especially with them on like Dynamite and Collision or on HBO Max now, people can just check those out whenever they want. that's probably growing their audience. And I think they have to find a way to put their pay-per-views even on some streaming service, even if it's like a premium level of HBO Max, where it's
I
like
think that's
$20 more or something, right? Like,
I think that's the next step. Personally, I think they will. I don't think it'll ever be as easy as it was on like the WWE network, where it's $10 a month and you got all the pay-per-views. Like you said, they'll have like the sports tier of Max or something, or HBO Max again.
Yeah.
Where
I hope they do that.
Same. But that would be like, if you wanted to watch them live, like if you just had the normal Max, HBO Max, sorry, I can't get used to calling it that again. I know. Where I think that this process will keep it the same. If you just want a regular subscription, like they're going to feed you a little bit per month. So you'll still be able to watch it, just but later. You might be a month behind. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like, what's the delay now? Like, how long does it take for a show we don't get HBO Max here. Like for like All In that just happened. When is that going to be on HBO Max? Did they tell you or just sometime?
It'll be like next year.
Right. I think they at least have to shorten that down to where it's
100%.
Like, to where it's like a month behind or something.
Yeah. Because I mean, they just added
like the 2024 pay-per-views, right?
Yeah.
That brings me to my final question. I think I know your answer, but just humor me. Where we're talking about WWE and AEW, WWE running shows in the same day as AEW. And I don't think they're luring any AEW fans away unless you're already going to watch the WWE pay-per-view and that but they're not luring any people who would have paid money for that AEW pay-per-view. I don't think they're going to take those people away. I don't.
I agree.
Especially not with like, no offense, Cena versus Lesnar, because they're big names. I get it. And this is Cena's last year. I get it. But AEW fans are into like work rate and long in-depth stories and 25-minute epic matches, not whatever 5-minute thing they're going to do with Cena and Lesnar. Like,
I'm just going to say Cena and Lesnar is not going anywhere near 25 minutes.
Yeah. That's not the match that's going to get people to watch. Now, is there a match that would get, maybe not you, but that would get an AEW fan to go, oh, maybe I'll watch that instead? Is there something WWE could put on that would potentially rival AEW? And it doesn't have to be better. It just has to be close to equal, because if pay-per-views are on Netflix and they're essentially free, right, it doesn't have to be better. It just has to be enough that you'll go, oh, I'll just watch the free one.
They would almost have to put on some sort of like barbed wire type light tube type match, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody there of the star power that would make anybody from the AEW audience, like, because we saw them all. There's nobody there that, like you saw AJ Styles in his prime in New Japan. You saw nobody cared about Roman Reigns when he was pushed down your throat. So nobody cares about his the Usos. Like nobody cares about any of those names. That's an AEW fan.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing I thought of was something involving AJ Styles or Finn Balor, but you're right that we've seen them in better matches in their prime. Yeah. So what could you do that would be better? Unless you stole someone from AEW, unless it's like, oh, Kenny Omega's coming, then you might want to see what his first match in WWE would be like.
And again, they wouldn't put that on free.
Right. Saying like if Hangman went to AEW, to WWE for whatever reason, maybe that would make AEW fans go, oh, I want to see what he's like over there.
But see, again, I think the average AEW fan would be like, oh, okay, good for him, but I've already seen it.
Right.
I don't need to see it there. I don't need to see the watered down version.
As you know, it's going to be a watered down version. That's the other problem.
Yeah.
The only other thing I thought of, and they'd have to do it right because the match probably wouldn't be that good. But if they had a very good storyline, like a well-built storyline between Cody and Punk, I think that might get some people to watch. If it was very, very well done and like not rushed.
That has potential. I'd agree to that.
And only if they did it really well, to the point where
Yes.
it was a several month long storyline where they had like a real angle going into it, and I could see then some AEW fans like, oh, I know those guys. They were pretty cool when they were here. I want to see. They never wrestled in AEW, so that would be cool to see them wrestling. But only if they did it really well. If they just announced it, and 3 weeks from now they're having a match, no, I don't think that would do it at all.
Yeah, it would almost have to be like the Death Riders thing, like a year-long deal.
Yeah. Because if on the September 20th show they're like, oh, it's Cody and Punk, you'd be like, why? And then because the match itself wouldn't be especially good. Like it'd be fine, but like it would be the story that you'd want to see. So unless they did it really well. One thing I'm very interested in is that AEW now has its own thing, right? Its own audience, its own people, its own kind of show, to the point where WWE fans probably won't ever really want to watch AEW if you're a diehard WWE fan. But I think diehard AEW fans also don't want to watch, like they're just putting on such, it's so different. And not even that I'm saying it's that one's better than the other one, even not even pointing that out.
It's now 100% the alternative.
They're completely different shows, and they do completely different things, and they're nothing like one another at this point, other than the fact that they both technically have wrestling in a ring.
Well, I was going to say one is a sports entertainment show, WWE, and one's a wrestling show. Anyways, thank you once again, everybody. We are at Elite City Pod on all social media. Make sure you make sure you leave a comment. That helps on YouTube, helps the algorithm. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you share. So we will be back next week. Until then, have a good one. Later.